When we interact with others, there is one thing that is almost always present: emotion. We can all recognize when someone is happy, sad, or angry, but have you ever wondered if you can read and control those emotions? How do you know what the other person is thinking, what they want, and how you can adjust your behavior to get what you want? This is the psychology of reading and understanding others' emotions. It's not a technique to manipulate or control, but an art of understanding and deeply empathizing with others. It's a way for you to become an influential figure in any relationship, not just in love, but also in work and society. Let's start with understanding others. In life, everyone has their own signal system they use to communicate with the world around them. These signals can be words, actions, gestures, or even a quick glance. However, only a small portion of us truly know how to recognize and decode these signals. Human psychology is not always clear. We often hide our true thoughts and emotions, but our bodies can't lie. Micro-expressions, those brief facial expressions, body gestures, tone of voice, all of these reveal a part of the truth about what we feel and think. Imagine you're in a meeting with a colleague. You've prepared well for an important presentation. Everything seems to be going smoothly, but when you glance at a specific colleague, you notice that they're not focused. Sometimes it's a furrowed brow, a distracted glance, or arms crossed in front of them. These are signals that show they're not happy, even though they don't say a word. Understanding these signals is the first step in reading other people's psychology. You don't have to be a psychologist to recognize these signs. Sometimes all you need to do is pay attention to gestures and actions, and you'll realize much of what they aren't saying. Once you understand how others express their emotions, the next step is to control those emotions, or at least influence them. Human emotions are easily influenced, especially when people are unaware of the outside effects. One of the most powerful techniques to control someone's emotions is silence. In today's world, everyone tends to talk too much, share too much, and feel the need to express themselves to maintain connection. But sometimes, silence can carry an invisible power. When you stay silent in a tense situation, others don't know what to do, and that forces them to respond the way you want. Imagine you're arguing with someone and you remain silent, not responding. This creates an uneasy feeling because they can't predict your reaction and they can't control the situation. When there's no resistance, they will feel compelled to adjust their behavior to satisfy you. This is the essence of silence, and how you can control others' emotions without doing anything complex. Of course, not every time do you want the other person to know you're manipulating their emotions. Sometimes the art lies in making them feel like they're making their own decision, when in reality, you're quietly guiding their behavior. One of the most subtle forms of psychological manipulation is the weight control technique. This is where you create uncertainty, forcing the other person to think about you. You can keep a bit of distance or not respond immediately. This will make the other person feel like they're losing control, and they will become more interested and want to learn more about you. For example, if you're in a relationship, try stepping back a little when the other person seems too eager. Don't respond too quickly. Don't be too accommodating. Create some space so they feel like they need to prove their worth. This increases their attraction and desire toward you. Conclusion: 2 minutes. When you understand how people express emotions and react in various situations, you begin to realize that reading psychology is not a technique, it's an art. An art of subtly recognizing, influencing, and adjusting emotions without saying too much. The most important thing is that you should not just control others, but also understand yourself. Because when you understand yourself and know how to control your own emotions, it becomes much easier to control the emotions of those around you.